Last Sunday we were studying verse 49 of the second chapter of the Gita. Dore Hyabaram Karma Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya Buddhao Sharanam and Vichya Kripana Haraheva. These verses refer to a certain bigness coming to man. When we are small, petty, we seek something better and better, and that bigness comes to us by what this verse calls developing buddhi and working and having human relations from the point of view of that buddhi. Durena Hyabaram Karma. Ordinary way of working from the ego point of view, self-centeredness, that work is far inferior to work done from the point of view of Buddhi Yoga, Yoga Buddhi. Therefore, take approach to this Buddhi Yoga. Kripana Adahedava. Small-minded are those who work for selfish results for oneself. This is the teaching so that humanity can become greater and greater than what they are. All that possibility is there within. In fact, the whole of Vedanta can be described by one phrase coined by Sir Julian Huxley. He wants modern science to develop into that phrase. The phrase is a science of human possibilities. Tremendous possibilities are there hidden in every one of us. Why should they remain a baby all the time? Spiritually, intellectually, morally a baby. Physically grown up. That is not proper. Parallel development must take place. When the body grows, mind also grows and expands, and the spiritual life also expands. These ideas are conveyed through these verses in the second chapter. And the whole thing is set in the field of work. We are all working people. As a working person, I must utilize that work situation to expand my mind and heart, to manifest my tremendous possibilities within. That is the real education of the human being. And so in the next verse, verse 50, we have the key note of the Gita teaching. The yoga that is taught in the Gita, its definition in the briefest possible language. In fact, the philosophy itself is expressed by a very brief word, yoga. What does the Gita teach? Yoga. The briefest word you can say, and the briefest definition of yoga also comes in verse 50. There he says, this wonderful idea of developing buddhi, buddhi yukto, those who have raised their life to the level of buddhi, evolved buddhi from within their own psychophysical energy system. Buddhi yukto jahadiha, ubhe sukradashkade, tasmat yogaya yujyasva. Yoga Karmasu Kaushadam. What a great definition. Buddhi Yukto Jahadiha Ubhe Sukata Dushkrute. All these dualities of Sukata and Dushkrita, good, bad, what we do, In our lower life, we are full of these conflicts. But when you rise to the level of buddhi, you go beyond these conflicting dualities. Sudhita Dushkrute. Tasmat, therefore, yoga yujyasva. Connect yourself with this philosophy and technique of yoga. Your whole mind and heart be established in yoga. Then what is yoga? The last phrase explains it. Yoga karmasu kausha. Yoga is efficiency or dexterity in action. You are working. That's beautiful. It can become a school of your own development. That is the unique feature of the Gita teaching. In no other religious literature, in India or abroad, you find this definition of spirituality. Spirituality is efficiency in work. What kind of definition it is? We thought we have to do some sort of tricks, pranayamas and so many things we have been told. But Krishna says no, that's all specialized things. So far as billions and billions of people are concerned, here is the definition. Yoga, karmasu, kaushalam. Yoga is kushalata, efficiency, dexterity in action. It is here you have a profound meaning compressed in a few words. Efficiency is a great word. And it is characteristic of modern Western civilization. Everything must be efficient. Efficient machines, efficient workers, efficient managers, is everywhere efficiency. Krishna also stresses this wonderful concept of efficiency. With minimum effort, produce maximum results. There you can see efficiency. Do so without friction. Smooth work. So all that is part of efficiency. But the Gita introduces a higher dimension of efficiency which is greatly needed today in our civilization. There are two levels of efficiency in work. That is the supreme message of this Gita. When you work, you change the world around you. It is work that changes the world around you. You dig a pit, the world is changed thereby. You build a house, the world is changed. And today you build so many industries and other things, the world is changed. Sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. That is one result of work. You change the ratio of forces around you by the work that you do. That is one aspect of work. That is highly emphasized in modern civilization. But Krishna emphasizes a second aspect also, which is much neglected in modern civilization, and that is what has happened to your mind. Has that work done any good? Make your mind better, purer, broader, make it realize its own real nature. If that is done, efficiency gets the second dimension. In normal language we say productive efficiency is the first type of efficiency. Good workers, strong, efficient farmers, industrial workers, administrators, professional people, everybody must be efficient. Discharge their responsibilities to society. That is one aspect of efficiency. The second aspect is highly neglected, and Krishna stresses it throughout the Gita. See what has happened to you. Have you grown spiritually? Have you realized something of the divine spark that is within you? Have you gone beyond the body-mind complex and its pulls and pressures and become calm and steady within yourself? All these are profound questions that modern Western civilization is asking today. What has happened to man? He has been a good worker, but he himself has become a broken man. Work has done no good to him except his salary and whatever creature comforts could come out of that salary. What about he himself? Is he rich within himself? Now in this way, Krishna defines the yoga taught in the Gita as a double efficiency, productive work efficiency and inward personality or character efficiency. These must go side by side. Don't separate these two. By the same work, if you can achieve two great things, how much greater will be our profit thereby. This second emphasis is highly needed today all over the world, because we find man has become smaller and smaller, more subject to tension, sorrow, unfulfillment, suicide. All these things are there in this most efficient technological civilization. Man has become a creature of the environment, Jantu, as they call it in Sanskrit, because he neglected the second dimension of the concept of efficiency. The Gita says, take care of this also, so that as you work, you bring blessings to society by your honest, efficient, cooperative labor in whatever fields you are working. Along with it, you become a richer person, qualitatively richer within, full of joy, full of peace, full of love and concern for humanity. That's the spiritual growth. Today we call it the qualitative enrichment of human life. And this is the first time modern science, especially 20th century biology, is stressing the importance of quality in human life. Earlier it was all quantity, but today evolution needs this criterion of quality to show that there is progress. What is the quality of your life? Quantity of production, quantity of consumption, we stress again and again, and all the work efficiency goes for that. Plenty of production and plenty of consumption, and consumption goes on, galloping, even beyond the power of production. That's the language of civilization today. But the result is qualitative impoverishment of man. No peace, no sense of security, full of tension, stress and strain, and breakdown, automatic suicide. All these are part and parcel of modern technical civilization, where efficiency is stressed only one side. The other side has been neglected. Hence it has tremendous appeal to the modern mind that there is a science and technology by which you can enrich yourself qualitatively. This warning is being given by scientists themselves. I often refer to the British biologist late Sir Julian Huxley in his lecture in the Chicago Congress of Scientists celebrating Darwin's centenary, 1959. He refers to this: quantity of material production is not an end in itself. It is a means to a further end, namely quality. More than a certain number of calories and cocktails and washing machines and TV sets per person is not only unnecessary but bad. Too much stress on quantity, too little stress on quality is extremely bad for man. Now Krishna has foreseen this kind of a difficulty for man. He was a great worker himself, and so he developed the philosophy so many thousand years ago, where efficiency gets a double dimension, where quantity and quality go together. We work to produce quantity of production. How much paddy we have got this year? We are expecting a good harvest because of the rain. That's called quantity of production. Very necessary to meet elementary human needs. But that is not the only criterion of efficiency. The people who do the work, who reap the benefit of the work, are they richer in themselves? Are they peaceful? Can they live at peace with each other? Serve each other? These are all big questions. We abolish war, violence, crime from society by this qualitative enrichment of human life. There is no other way except this. So this stress on the second dimension of efficiency, inner personality efficiency. The other is outer productive efficiency. We must stress productive efficiency. In our country particularly, we may easily try to develop a little inner efficiency for a little meditation or this and that. But we have been neglecting the work side of our life. We have to develop that side very much today. Our problems like poverty and backwardness cannot be overcome without stress on work, and work with efficiency. Work in a spirit of harmony with other people. What about teamwork? These are all great demands on the national character today. When we become good workers, producing goods and services plenty for the community, we solve the problem of poverty in India. All the 800 million people, well fed, well educated, well housed. What a beautiful development it will be. That comes only from work, by efficient work. So productive efficiency is a profound message to all of us in all these developing countries, especially India and Africa. But even we, in the course of doing so, should not neglect the second dimension. We have already started neglecting it, and we are already reaping the fruits. More of mental tension, more of strain, more of breakdown. All these things are also coming to us. And to us till now, religion means only doing some ritual or paying some money to a priest to do the ritual. No benefit is going to come to you thereby. Unless your mind is trained, all happiness and all peace come in the mind. They don't come outside. When the mind is properly trained, the mind is peaceful. The mind is peaceful. So this training of the mind must go on as part of the work that we do. That we have to take special care in India if we want to preserve the spiritual quality of our cultural heritage, so that big people, great people will come out of that work and economic and social development. So this concept of personality efficiency, inward efficiency, is very much needed in our part of the world today. So that Russia is feeling the need for this great philosophy, There is nobody to teach these things. It is such a profound subject, but people are seeking. And so the books also are going. Gita book is being read by increasing numbers of people. I am sure some good will come by one's own reading and trying to apply as much of it as possible in one's own life and work. This special definition, yoga, karmasu, kaushala, is a unique type of definition of man's spiritual life, not opposed to man's worldly life, but comprehending both of them. The yoga of the Gita comprehends both dimensions of human life, outer life and inner life. Outer life of work, inner life of inward development. Gita doesn't make a gulf between man's secular life and man's religious life. That gulf has been bridged by Krishna ages ago. So this definition will appeal to every thinking mind, rational minds, agnostics, even atheists, because they are afraid of the word religion. There is no religion in all this, in the normal sense of the term. It is a philosophy of life, philosophy and spirituality of life. That is what you get from the yoga of the Gita. It affects every human being. Therefore, this definition. Let us therefore, Krishna says, be all yogis. Krishna is whispering to everybody, be a yogi. Immediately, many of us will come to the conclusion, to be a yogi must be some special type of people, some magic, some miracle, this and that must be there with yogis. Krishna says, no, I don't mean all that. I mean the most normal life, but with a depth added to it. What a universal philosophy it is. You are living, you are working, you are dealing with others, and in all this, you are also shaping your mind and heart, trying to manifest the divine spark that is within you. In this way, a parallel development takes place. Externally, social welfare and development. Inwardly, spiritual growth and fulfillment. And some of these ideas are coming to us from modern biology. That the goal of evolution at the human stage is not organic satisfaction, numerical increase, or organic survival. These are the words of Huxley and others in the 20th century biology. At the pre-human phase of evolution, these were the goals. Every animal wants organic satisfaction. It needs numerical increase. It needs organic survival. Everything it does is to make for survival as far as possible. But in this 20th century, evolution has found a new goal at the human level. That he actually defines as fulfillment. These are secondary. Organic satisfaction, organic survival, numerical increase, these are all secondary. But the primary objective is fulfillment. What a beautiful term. It is by introducing this concept of fulfillment that Huxley coined that phrase which I quoted earlier. If fulfillment is the goal of evolution, we shall need a new science of human possibilities. How to bring out those possibilities? What are those possibilities? We need a science of that. At present we don't have it in the West. But when you study Vedanta, this is exactly that science. The science and technique of human possibilities and their fullest realization. And so, this definition of yoga as karmasu kausalam must be meditated upon by everyone to get the best out of it. And Krishna whispers to every one of us, be a yogi, be a yogi. When I speak at the Missouri Academy of Administration, the IAS has taken this motto from the Gita, Yoga Karmasu Kausalam. I have been asked to speak on this subject several times, and I tell, it's not merely for IAS, for everyone. This message goes. Krishna whispering to a government official, be a yogi, a teacher, a doctor, everyone, be a yogi. What type of yogi? Not the cheap type of yoga which you get by change of dress and external forms. But some profound change takes place within you. A new ratio of forces come within you. That is the spiritual growth of man. And that takes place in the context of work itself, in the context of human relations. What can be a more luminous and practical and universal message than this? To everyone, Krishna will whisper, wherever they are. Therefore, be a yogi, be a yogi. Work hard. Bring happiness and welfare to society through your work. The social development of society, economic development of society depends upon hard work, not by simply praying to God here and there. That has been our mistake. We wanted material improvement by rituals and ceremonies. I want Lakshmi, wealth, so I purchase a picture of Lakshmi and go on Arati, or that picture to get wealth. That was the foolish thing we did. Go and work. That is what creates Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the product of efficient labor, cooperative labor. They work out cleanly the subject. Additionally, we can worship the picture. But to conserve everything in terms of the ritual made the nation extremely poor and backward, not understanding the meaning of Lakshmi or the meaning of even Saraswati. By worshipping a picture of Saraswati, we are not going to become blessed by Saraswati. You work hard, studying books, thinking for yourself. That is how you worship Saraswati. Similarly, by working hard, creating wealth, you worship Lakshmi, get the blessing of Lakshmi. These are only symbolic worship. Just a picture you worship once in a year, quite okay. But hard work with books, with teachers, and with your own mind. That's how knowledge comes. Then hard work in the world outside. That is how wealth comes to society. That lesson we forgot. We have to relearn it today. We shall be true devotees of Saraswati and Lakshmi, and we shall learn a new lesson in this modern period, which Swami Vivekananda particularly stressed, that Lakshmi is the product of Saraswati. The more knowledge you have, the more wealth you will be able to create. Ignorance is not able to create wealth. First, therefore, pursue knowledge. That's called worship of Saraswati. Then apply that knowledge to the world around you. That becomes wealth. That becomes Lakshmi. They are very beautiful, loving sisters. Though our experience was they are jealous sisters. Wherever Lakshmi comes, Saraswati will run away. That is true. In our case, it is true. Rich people may not have much knowledge, and knowing people will have not much wealth. That has been our condition. Not understanding the true meaning of Lakshmi and Saraswati. Today we have to bring back these two sisters to every home, to core of our society. First Saraswati, then Lakshmi. Apply your knowledge, then wealth comes. Pure science and applied science we see. Knowledge becoming the fruit by way of economic development, etc. Even today, these villages, if they had better education up to the 8th class, if not up to the matriculation standard, how much development would have taken place all over India? Because there is no knowledge, there is no development, economic development. And yet, worship goes on, ritual, ceremony, all go on. The real worship is study and hard work. That has to come back to India. That is related to this definition of yoga. Yoga, karmasu, kaushala, efficiency in action. By applying knowledge to the work that you do, you bring Lakshmi, economic prosperity. All this dismal poverty will disappear. Along with it, if poverty comes in your mind and heart, there will be a tragedy. We shall polish it in the mind and heart also by developing the spiritual awareness within ourselves. In the same context of work, such people will be the greatest asset of a nation. Those who have become good workers and developed high character, public spirit, spirit of service and dedication, they will be the asset of any nation. To produce such people in abundance in all parts of the world is the mission of the Gita in the modern age. And the Gita will do it the way people are seeking for a rational, practical religion without any kind of mystification. There is nothing mystifying in all this teaching. It goes to the heart of the person concerned. So this brief definition must be studied and thought over and applied according to one's own strength. Even a little of it is good, he has said already a few verses earlier. Swarpamapyasya dharmasya prayate mahadopaya. Protective efficiency, if it increases even 5% in India, we shall be taking leave of all this poverty and backwardness very soon. Even a little, it not be 100%. That is what is very much needed today. That wonderful shloka which I recited just now, Swarpamapyasya dharmasya prayate mahadopaya. Krishna asked me to be a yogi. I can't be 100% yogi, therefore I remain what I am. That is not correct. Become 1%, 5%, 10%, as much as you can. All that is going to bring lot of blessing to you and to your society. That we have to keep in view constantly. A little more work efficiency, a little more character efficiency. These two must go side by side. A country becomes great because its people are great. That greatness must come to the people by applying this criterion of the Gita. Character and efficiency, more of public spirit, love and concern for people. What can I do for you? Always with that attitude. Along with hard work, nothing of laziness. All laziness must go. In the name of religion, we became lazy. In the name of meditation, in the name of samadhi, we became lazy and went to sleep for centuries together. This Gita comes like a clarion call. Krishna's Chandradhvani comes to us to wake up. He will say that in the 11th chapter. Tasmat muttishta yasholabhasva. Jitva Shatrun Bhuncha Rajyam Samruddham. Arjuna, get up. Tasmata Uttishta. Yashoda Brasya. Acquire the glory that belongs to man. There is a glory attached to man. He has lost that glory. You have to regain it now. Jitva Shatrun. Overcome your enemies in the way of poverty, backwardness, etc. And then, Bhumsha Rajyam Samruddham. Enjoy life in this beautiful country of ours. How wonderful will be that state when today's poverty and backwardness are overcome. There is health everywhere, cheerful. Everybody has enough to eat and drink. May not be too much, but enough. Well, that kind of a country is a pleasure to live and to interact with each other. That kind of change will come when this philosophy becomes applied by increasing numbers of our people. Swami Vivekananda calls it practical Vedanta. Vedanta has been till now a matter of discussion, what you call tea table discussion. We have nothing to do, go on, Charcha, Vedanta going on. Some of them are very, very ordinary type of discussion. Sometimes it may be a little offensive also, that kind of discussion. All over India you will find Vedanta Charcha. Very abstract type of Charcha. How creation started, how from Brahman Akasha came, from Akasha Vayu came. You can go on discussing for days together. Sometimes narrowness is introduced. I don't belong to a particular Sampradaya Vedanta, so I will look down upon it. My Sampradaya is superior. I have seen it actually when I was in Mysore. So many Pandits will gather together after meals at noon. Now let us discuss something which will Pacharcha model. What shall we do? Then one of them will say, our cloth is not clean, so we shall not discuss our own Sampradaya, we shall discuss the other Sampradaya. When you have a clean cloth only, you should discuss your Sampradaya. Such pettiness has been there, and Vedanta has been lost in all these morass of superstition and worldly arguments, etc. Now comes practical Vedanta. Apply it, live it. We have not attended now. This is the first time we are having a nationwide effort to build a Vedantic civilization in this country, which will combine worldly welfare and spiritual development. Both will go side by side. That is yoga or the Gita. You will get its confirmation when you study the last verse of the Gita some months later, where Sanjaya concludes this whole book. Wherever there is the spirit of Krishna, wherever there is the spirit of Arjuna, in that society there will be no poverty, there will be no backwardness, there will be constant justice and general social welfare. We will find a beautiful summing up of the message of the Gita with respect to our life and destiny. So today the whole stress is on practical Vedanta. Theory we have plenty, tons and tons of theory, but 1 ounce of practice is worth tons of theory. That lesson we have to learn. Let me live this Vedanta as much as I can. Swami therefore stressed practical Vedanta again and again. In the Madras lecture, 1897, he took the subject Vedanta and its application to Indian life. How to apply Vedanta to Indian life? To solve problems of poverty, backwardness, exploitation, untouchability, casteism, The law of lecture the same. Rouse the spirit of Vedanta. Wipe away the cloud that is on your society with the help of this great philosophy. Treat man as man, not as a creature. Now this kind of approach by millions of educated citizens of India will make a thorough revolution in this country. After all, the greatest permanent revolution is revolution in mind and attitude. You may have a military revolution, so many people will be killed, not much gain would have been there towards the end. But this type of revolution, a thought revolution, attitude revolution, that will be permanent. That is what we need. A few do's and don'ts cannot help to bring about that revolution. Somebody is doing something, I say don't do it. Alright, he will not do. But what has happened? Because he is afraid of me, he doesn't do it. But the mind to do it is always there. Unless the mind is changed, that not doing has no meaning at all. It was Morley, the British politician and writer, who said, we may change one act into some other action without changing the mind that produced that particular action. What we need is change that mind, that attitude. Then you are perfectly free thereafter. No use of telling don't do this to children. You have to change their mind and attitude. That is permanent education. That's why do's and don'ts have a very small part to play in human life. It is like this code of conduct being discussed for all sorts of people, doctors, lawyers, engineers, politicians, everybody. Code of conduct. You can have a whole volume of code of conduct. What does it matter? I won't do wrong and you are looking at me. When you are not looking, I will do what I like. That is called so-called code of conduct. A little good thing I do, if I am serious about it, otherwise it has no meaning at all. Do's and don'ts will not make any difference to me. People are getting sufficiently cynical today. So do's and don'ts won't help you. But if you can change your mind, being convinced this is the better way, then high character will come out of that individual. We have to keep in view that it is the thought behind the action that has to be handled. Then not only this action, every subsequent action will be in terms of that new thought. So thought revolution is what we need. Vivekananda said, spread ideas all over India, healthy, beautiful ideas. Flood India with these ethical, moral and spiritual ideas of Vedanta. A great development will come thereby. This is the importance of this yoga of the Gita. Always remember, it is entirely practical. It shapes our work and our life. The new parts, bringing beauty and qualitative richness to the individual concern. And so, this concept of yoga, karma, kaushala, this is just a brief definition. 3 slokas earlier, he had defined it, samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity, evenness of mind, that is yoga. This is a complement to that and much more pervasive in meaning. Yoga, karma, kaushala. This teaching has to go around the world because today we need a philosophy which can bring quality to human life. Quantity has almost destroyed us as a people. Everybody wants more of quantity. Quality has no meaning. So far as man is concerned, it is quality and not quantity. Just like we say in our ancient Puranas, we will find when somebody prayed to God, give me children. God asked, do you want one wonderful child who will bring tremendous name and fame to you, or number of foolish children? The mother said, I want one good child, not a number of foolish children. They are searching for quality and not quantity. One Shankaracharya is enough to bless a whole mother for generations together, or one Vivekananda. So the quantity is not what we seek, quality. Wonderful life, wonderful richness. But the whole nation today must turn to this stress on quality. What the quality of your life, not how much you own, how much money you have managed to gain, how many people you have cheated. That's not what we see today. We have to change our whole thinking. Reading this definition in the second chapter, people must begin to think, have I turned in that direction to improve the quality of my life, or I am still in the level of quantity? That change must come from deep thinking, looking at the conditions in society, what changes are needed, how I can be the instrument for such a change. This kind of a wide-ranging thought will help us to take out of this teaching the best for oneself and for society. I always stress this point, the double efficiency of the yoga teaching. We have to combine productive efficiency and personality efficiency. There is absolutely no opposition between the two. Productive efficiency, a housewife, from morning till evening, she is working in the house. Plenty of time spent on work, but in the midst of that work, if she understands this teaching of the Gita, she will also be developing inwardly greater strength, greater peace of mind, more loving heart. All this will come side by side, so that in spite of working the whole day, she is never in tension, evening as calm and quiet as the morning itself. With a gentle smile, she can respond to every situation. Though she is full of hard work, that gentle smile connotes that peace and tranquility that has come within. This is the challenge before every one of us. Work becomes the venue for my own spiritual development. Religion gets a new meaning in this case. I can't have religion by paying money to a priest to do some mantra there. Most of us believe in that kind of religion. To what low level our concept of religion has come. The lowest level is what I noted. Places like Haridwar, you go, pay 5 rupees to a pandit, take only the tail of a cow, and you will go to heaven. That's called religion to many people. What low level it has gone. What has happened to you thereby? Nothing. Pandit for 5 rupees, and you have the tail of the cow, you are the same, the cow is the same, pandit also is the same. No difference at all. But this inner growth, spiritual growth, Adhyatmika Vikas, slowly, gently taking place. There is no big show about it, no flash about it. You are working. We thought of becoming saints by show, showy saints. Here there is no showy sainthood. Very ordinary looking person will be a tremendous saint. Such saints we need in our society. They are but professional saints. That is too much in India. But sainthood that comes to you normally, naturally, as a growth, that is the type of sainthood we need, scattered all over India. Otherwise, like a huge banyan tree and small shrubs all around. That is India. A few great giants of spirituality and so many small pygmies around. That will go. And a citizen will be spiritual. He has developed some spirituality within. He has used his what situation for this? It is this type of life that the Gita expounds throughout these 18 chapters. They are just the beginning of the yoga message. Starting from now, this concept of yoga will become richer and richer. Just like the Ganga starting from the Gangotri becomes bigger and bigger when your tributaries enter into it. Until when you come to Allahabad, it becomes a mighty river of agricultural prosperity. Similarly, the Gita also grows as the chapters proceed. New ideas, new dimensions of life, new values come in. Especially the great value of bhakti comes in a little later. Karma becomes completely transformed when bhakti also enters in the picture. That development will come later. Here we have just the beginning. That is where this definition has a great part to play to reshape our thinking and outlook. Yoga, karmasu, kaushal, karmajam buddhi. The idea of buddhi, yoga. Yoga buddhi, buddhi yoga. Both are used. The buddhi which is steeped in yoga, or yoga that is attached to buddhi, yoga buddhi. That buddhi we have to utilize to work and for human relations. That buddhi is that takes you to your spiritual dimension. So yoga buddhi it is called, or buddhi yoga. As a philosophy of action, it is buddhi yoga. Both ways Krishna uses here. So he said, this is working from the point of view of buddhi. We are able to achieve great results both for oneself and for one's society. This is the message the Gita gives. When Vivekananda appeared after coming from the West, after great work in the West, he wanted to organize his work in India. And then he gave a similar brief utterance, just like a phrase as we have here, yoga, karmasu, kaushal, a double efficiency, productive efficiency and spiritual efficiency. Swami therefore framed a similar Sanskrit saying and gave it as a motto for the whole Ramakrishna Vivekananda movement. And it will eventually touch all people in all parts of the world. That phrase is Atmanam Mokshartham Jagat Hidaya Cha. Work in such a way that you become spiritually freer and freer within, and you also bring happiness and welfare people around you. Atmanam Mokshartham Jagat Hidaya Cha. Jagat Hita, welfare of human beings of the world, welfare of the world must be one of the goals of your work. The other is your own spiritual development. Otherwise you will be just a machine. We are used as a machine for work, and the machine is old, it is thrown into a scrap heap. That will be our condition. That should not be. Atmanam Mokshartham. You must become freer and freer. Free spirits you must become as a result of this work. This cannot come unless you orient your work with this inward direction. Not merely a productive individual. The machine also a productive unit. Some of the machines can do more work than you and I can do. But it is a machine. And when it is old, we throw it away. Scrap. That's all. The man cannot be a scrap. When you cease to work also, you have some value within you. An intrinsic value. That's the purpose of this work. And we forget it. That should not be. So Swamiji gave this message after giving us this tremendous message of service of the common people. Raise the nation, raise the people of the world, the highest level of human development. That is external work. While doing so, Atmanam Mokshartham, victory spiritually, and achieve your own spiritual perfection. So that is the message you get in this definition of yoga by the Gita. Yoga, Karmasu, Swami is emphasized very much on work efficiency. Any kind of flippant work, you do not like at all. What you do, you must do thoroughly, efficiently. Sri Ramakrishna also emphasized the same thing. What a wonderful new message is coming. The old message coming in a new way, through new teachers, for our good in this modern age. And so, we have dealt with the main definition of yoga given in the second chapter. Yoga is the theme of the whole Gita. According to Bhagavad, the word yoga and its associates have come more than 80 times throughout the Gita. And towards the end of the Gita, Sanjay also tells to Dhritarashtra that it was my blessed privilege, through Vyasa's grace, I got the spiritual vision to see what is going on in that Kurukshetra and report the same thing to you. And what did I do? Yoga Yogeshwara Krishna Sakshat Patheta Swayam. I could hear the exposition of yoga by Krishna in the Kurukshetra battleground. So there again, the subject of the Gita is yoga is mentioned there in the prologue. At the end of all chapters also comes Yoga Shastra, Brahma Vidya, Yoga Shastra, philosophy of reality and its practical implication for human life and destiny. That's called Yoga Shastra. So this is the beginning of the exposition of yoga in the Gita. Hereafter, it will be getting richer and richer and richer as we proceed chapter after chapter. We shall take up the other verses next Sunday when we meet here. Before we sit for a few minutes in silence, I wish to announce we have seen already the notice of Radhakrishna's centenary, President Radhakrishna's centenary, the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, in collaboration with the Mutt, is organizing that meeting. Salutations to thee, Sri Ramakrishna. You came to establish dharma, but not any particular dharma, but the embodiment of all dharmas, the divine manifestation, to thee be our